The joy is not gone. I am happy to report breaking news. The joy is not gone. You know why? Because I hate to drive, right? That's why I live in New York City. Don't want to drive at all. So even if gas was cheap, which it's not, I'd still prefer to take public transportation. What Mary's done with her food program is not only address a concrete need in her neighborhood, but also proves what one person can do on their own if they just have the will. My big moment with Matt, and he runs away?
He's a stinker. Never mind.
Oh,
he just thinks you're great.
Thanks. I think you guys are great.
What is this? Was this a pet?
I'm so sorry.
We all know you from such classic films, right? Mahogany, Lady Sings the Blues, and of course, my favorite, Star Wars. Talk to me about your experience in theater. They don't whisper, but this guy is called the Dog Whisperer of Brooklyn. He says he's always been able to communicate with dogs, and the good news is he can help you do the same. I'll take you there. Ain't no smiling faces. I'll take you there. In Central Park, Cat Greenleaf, News Channel 4.
We got a new group. What do you think? I was just going to say, Mavis and Cat.
Cat, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Lester. You know, when you learn something new about someone you've known for a long time, it can be exciting, fun, even a little shocking. But what about when you learn something new about yourself? Well, for two women who discovered their true identities after 35 years, shocking doesn't even begin to describe it. Paula Bernstein was adopted in 1968. So was Elise Shine. Both grew up in New York, are 39 years old, and have worked as film critics. Yet the two never met, which is odd considering they're twins.
No, we're identical. Someone at the adoption agency had a crazy theory that twins would be better off if they were separated. So we were separated in part to participate in a secret study on nature versus nurture.
The study was eventually derailed, and neither of the girls' adoptive parents ever knew they were part of an identical twin set. It wasn't until 4 years ago, while Elise was living in Paris, that she began searching for her birth mom and received a letter from the Louise Wise Adoption Agency.
I opened it up and it said, "You were born the younger of twin girls on October 9, 1968.
Then the agency called Paula.
I just break down in sobs at the idea that in some ways I felt like my whole life had been a lie.
The sisters met face to face shortly after they got the news.
We didn't, leap into each other's arms because on a biological level, we were twins, but we weren't yet sisters. We really were strangers.
It didn't take long for these strangers to see similarities in temperament, mannerisms, and tastes.
To the point when we first met, the first time we met, we were comparing favorite films, and at the same time we each said Wings of Desire, which, is a German film. It's not, it's not like Sleepless in Seattle.
In their new book, Identical Strangers, the sisters not only tell their own story, but they also tackle the big question: are we products of nature or nurture?
I had always thought it was more nurture than nature, and in meeting my identical twin and seeing all the similarities between us, I think definitely each of them play a significant role, no doubt, but nature definitely trumps nurture.
The twins, now both living in Brooklyn, say the book has helped them move past the anger of being split up as infants and toward a future as a family.
There's no way to make up for the 35 years that we missed together, but we have the rest of our lives to try.
Elise and Paula's story is a wild one on its own, but on this National Adoption Day, it has a personal significance for my family. My sister Carrie Greenleaf was also adopted from the Louise Wise Agency just 4 months before the twins. Now Carrie and I are both reading the book, hoping to learn more about how our own family was built and the climate of adoption back then.
It's a great story on both counts. Let me ask you about your sister. Knowing this story now, has she become curious that maybe I'm a twin?
She sure has, and in fact we spoke about it yesterday, and we might take a look, but you know what? I'm territorial and she's mine.
She's your sister. That's the end
No
of
one
it.
else can have her.
All right, Kat, good to have you. Great story. Thanks for sharing it with us.
You have been a favorite of mine for a long, long time, and I just want you to know that for me, you're the true heartthrob of this film.
Thank you very much.
I'm
not going to tell anybody.
Don't tell anyone.
No, I won't.
You know, there is nothing funny about high gas prices, but beating them can be fun if you live in New Jersey and if you don't mind driving standing up. Bill Collins is staging a protest.
This is my personal response to gas.
His truck costs $60 to fill up, but his Segway
It costs about 8 cents to charge it, and if you convert that into gasoline, it would be 450 miles to the gallon.
Over the past 4 years, Bill has built up a fleet of 5 Segway scooters at about $5,000 a pop.
I go to errands, I go to Blockbuster, I go to the supermarket. I go to the coffee shop.
He even drives it to his job as a local school bus driver. But he might also be driving his wife, Eileen, crazy.
I don't like change.
Yet her Segway has been a segue to new things.
We used to go for a walk, and we might go for a glide instead.
Granddaughter Chloe is also
Scared.
Yet she too rides along. So who am I to say no?
Now you're going to get on just like you're going up a step.
Ah.
No. Now think stop and stand still.
Do you need a special license to drive this?
No.
You should. In fact, in New Jersey, you don't even need a registration or insurance. Legislation on the Segway is pending in New York, but in Connecticut, they are totally illegal. Bill says Segways should be legal everywhere, and I say there should be mandatory driver's ed.
Lean forward. Not forward. No.
God, it hurts just watching that. I don't like to name drop, but I did see Julia Roberts and George Clooney, and so we'll have them and a whole lot more coming up at 11. But for now, that's what's happening here at the museum. Back to you in the studio.
You heading up for one of those superhero after parties, Kat?
Well, I am. Would you like to go with me?
I'm busy tonight, the 11 o'clock news, but we'll see. Thanks for the invitation.
Right, okay. But for the Doherty family, speaking quickly is something to be celebrated. In fact, it's their mission, their passion, and the family business. Jill and Aaron Doherty look like an average mother-daughter pair until...
it's showtime. It's auction time.
Together, they are one of only 2 mother-daughter auction teams in the country.
Being a mother-daughter team is really fun. You know, I can really depend on her now, and she can depend on me.
Jill began her career about 30 years ago with her father. And then 3 years ago, Aaron went to auctioneer school and graduated with a specialty in fundraising.
It's one of the most thankful jobs you can do because people are so excited to give money.
Star Auctions raises hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for charities and schools, as well as calling classic commercial auctions.
Now 30, want to go 30, now 30.
All of which they do on commission.
It's the #1 selling business in the world. We can sell over 100 items an hour.
$30 sold.
So that's selling, that's moving.
And the Dohertys move as a family. Meet Jill's twin sister, Jackie.
I'm the bookkeeper for Jill, and I touch the money where she runs her mouth.
And Jackie's daughter, Holly.
I help out touch the money.
Then there's Jill's husband, Eric, who sets up the events.
Oh, I was hijacked.
When an organization hires the Dohertys, they not only get the full crew, they get full-service fundraising.
We are the entertainment, that's for sure. We're also the MC.
45, want to go 45, 45.
We also pull the raffle tickets, but the really most important part is the money-making part.
Yeah, how do you make the money?
Count by tens, up to 100, and then back.
40, 40, 30, 30, 20, 20, 10, 10.
Okay?
I'm running out of breath. And what am I doing with my hands?
You have the money and then you're encouraging the money.
$30 bid, now 40.
Have the money, get the money.
$50 bid, now 60. $60 bid, now 70.
Here's 70. $70 bid, now 80. $80 bid, now 90. $90 bid, now 10. Nope. Calling an auction is hard, but it's also a blast, which is why the Dohertys do it.
We make each other laugh. We make other people laugh. We make everybody happy. It's a fun business.
Thank you very much.
Now, I'm a pretty fast talker, and that was tough even for me. But as complicated as it sounds to call an auction, one of the things that they do to keep in shape is to say simple nursery rhymes. So do you know any?
You know, you asked me this and I was thinking the Brady Bunch. Sally sold seashells by the seashore, but that's going to trip me up anyway if I say that fast.
So we're not going to try that 10 times fast?
No, you do it.
And then go for it.
I appreciate that etiquette expert Cindy Post thinks you should just go for it, but I don't think she meant this. Not sure if you caught this the first time around, but check out what your poorly mannered features reporter did during my interview with her.
Unbelievable.
I can't believe it.
Down goes Post.
Yeah.
Down goes Post.